What's up, my YouTube family? Sergeant Graybeard with the Gaming Brigade, back with another Division 2 video. Today is Wednesday, August 4th, and as always, I hope this message finds you healthy and safe. In today's video, my friends, I'm going to be showing you my favorite named boss locations in both DC and New York, and what I'll also be doing is leaving a link to a map in the description down below that will show you every named boss location in the game. Now, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. We would love for you to be a part of our gaming family, and if you enjoyed this or found it helpful at all, do me a favor, hit that like button. It really does help us out. Finally, as most of you know, we have giveaways here, and our current one is for an Xbox Series S, and all you need to do to enter is either subscribe here or follow us on Twitter. Either way is fine. The winner will be announced on October 2nd of this year, and just to clarify, you do not need to join as a member in order to enter the Xbox giveaway. We do have different prizes for memberships, however, for this giveaway, like I said, all you need to do is subscribe or follow us on Twitter. Having said that, let's get into today's video. So there happen to be a few things I want to go over really quick as we begin the video. First of all of the locations on the map are where named bosses are going to be. However, you may get to that location and the named boss may not be there, and if that's the case, just reset your control points and try again. The other thing I'd like to mention really quick is the fact that all of the named bosses in the open world are on a 30-minute timer. So regardless of what the outcome is, once you engage with a named boss, it doesn't matter if you're in DC or New York, once you have that interaction, another one will not show up on either map for 30 minutes. Now, the first location I'm showing you today is in New York, and it's in the Civic Center area. Now, the reason I began with this one is this is an area where you will either run into rogue agents or a named boss, but either way, chances are you're going to get some really good gear. I'd also like to mention the fact that if you get to a named boss location and there happen to be rogue agents, like in this case, the rogue agents do not count as named bosses. So if you defeat the rogue agents, you do not need to wait 30 minutes to then go after a named boss. You'll be able to go for one right away. The next spot I'm showing you is in the Two Bridges area, and it's right here on the map. Now, once again, the main reason I'm showing you these areas is due to the fact that these, for me at least, seem to be the most consistent spots where I can get here and find the named enemy on the first attempt. Now, one thing I recommend is that once you get to the location, take a look and see if the named boss is there. Now, if they are not there, I recommend resetting your control points and trying again. And one thing you'll notice is pretty much all of these spots that I'm showing you are close to some sort of fast travel point, whether it's, a control point or a, classified mission, a regular mission, stuff like that. So that way, if I get here and no one's there, I can easily reload it. The last spot I'll be showing you in New York before we move on to DC is in the Battery Park area, and this by far has been my best farming location. And what I try to do is this, if I'm looking for something specific, I try to find a certain targeted loot in the open world on a certain day and just hit a spot up over and over again. And as we make our way to Washington, do me a favor, my friends, let me know in the comments section down below where you've had the best luck farming for named bosses in New York. For me, these are my favorite 3 spots. However, you guys know the main goal here is to try to help out in any way possible, so any information you can pass along is greatly welcomed. The first location I'm showing you in DC is just south of the White House, and this is one of those spots where actually a lot of you have reached out to the channel as well, saying you've had really good luck here. For me, I think I've probably gotten 20 or 30 exotics from this area alone. And as I continue to show you some of my favorite places to farm for named enemies in the open world, or specifically DC, I'd also like to pass along a tip for new and returning players that should hopefully up your odds in regards to farming for exotics. Now keep in mind, this is not a guarantee at all. However, I have found that if I'm farming for something in the open world and I'm going after named enemies and I'm choosing to hit the same spot over and over again, I have found that if I change the difficulty in between attempts, it does seem to help out the odds. Anyway, getting back to the footage you're looking at now, this is one of those spots, once again, that the enemy seems to spawn every 30 minutes no matter what, so if there happens to be targeted loot in this area, I definitely recommend hitting this up. Now, before I show you the last 2 locations in DC, I want to talk about farming for bounties. Now, this is something I've spoken about in previous videos, and in my opinion, farming for bounties is one of the most effective way to go after named bosses in the game. Now, this may be a little bit tedious, but it is highly effective. So what you want to do is this. You want to find a bounty on the map. It doesn't matter which one. The difficulty is irrelevant as well. All that matters is that you're going to go after a bounty that has more than one named target. Ideally, you have a bounty that has 3 targets. Now, what you want to do is this. You go after the first 2 named bosses, you take them out, and you let the 3rd one kill you. Once that happens, you fast travel back to a safe house, reload the bounty, and just do the thing as many times in a row as you want. And this, in my opinion, is one of the most efficient ways to get exotics in the game. So all you're going to do is travel around the map, you'll look at your targeted loot, you'll find something you're looking for, and if there happens to be a bounty in that location, I recommend doing this because once again, you're going to get a ton of loot in a short amount of time. Now, one thing I recommend is make sure in between attempts you pick up the loot as you're going along. Now, the only reason I'm leaving the loot up is to show you continuity, so I want you to see that I actually am doing these consecutively, therefore the loot from my previous attempt is still there. And as I start to wrap this video up, one of the main reasons I wanted to show you the different areas throughout the map is so you have different spots you can hit up where there may be targeted loot that you're looking for. Obviously, farming for bounties, that's a really efficient way, but you want to have other options as well, and hopefully this helps. On that note, my friends, I'm going to start to wrap this video up. However, as always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your continued support and remind you if you have any questions or comments or feedback or, anything whatsoever, please let me know in the comments section down below, as my main focus is to help out in any way I can. Now, after this footage, I'll be cutting to some more footage in DC, showing you 2 more places that I like to farm for named bosses. And as I said previously in New York, if you have any spots you'd like to hit up, please let us know down below. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well. But most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Got you. This all day.